Hello, and welcome to part 3 of my in-depth playthrough of Demon Souls. Last time we were playing, we killed the Phalanx, so now we're back here in the Nexus to level up, because we already spoke to the Monumental last time, so let's see. We got a bunch of stuff that we can pop. For the most part, I'm not going to use any of the souls, because for the most part, the weapons or the spells that come with these souls are not really worth it to me. So like here, the Grey Demon Soul, you can make something called a Dozer Axe with it, but it's a non-scaling weapon, it's very heavy, and pretty much are better strength weapons that I can use. Lead Demon Soul you can use to make the Scraping Spear like I mentioned earlier, but Scraping Spear is like, it's mostly a weapon that you use for breaking gear on PvP characters. But before I do that, let's run up to the top here, because there are a few items that I meant to get, but I forgot to get. So if you just come to each side, and after you pass this threshold right here, you can drop down to these little corners just up here, and just, it doesn't really matter if you roll, because you always take the same amount of fall damage, regardless of equipment. So you just walk across, get some new moon grass. That's really, really good grass. But for now, we don't really need it, because of how much health we have. So, let's go to the other side and get the other item. And then after that, there will be some new NPCs that we can interact with in the Nexus. Sideway roll. Oh, shit. Well, I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but it did. No matter. Well, rip no death run, but it's fine. Since I died in the Nexus, it's not going to affect my world tendency. See, kids, that's why you don't roll. Anyway, let's pop the one ephemeral eye stone that I just came across. Come back up here and get this item, because it's a really good item. Oh, plus I need my souls, obviously. Okay. So just careful, because if you fall off a ledge a little bit too hard and land right near the ledge, you'll get like a bit of bounce, and you'll just sort of fall right off. Alright, so we got a soul. It's worth a pretty good amount. So let's start by popping them. If you just... Now normally how the game does it is it just deposits all the souls into your direct inventory. It doesn't put them on your hotbar by default. So what you can do is just do something like what I'm doing. But you also want to make sure you have something in your hotbar available for equip, because if you say you want to just pop all your souls with nothing on your hotbar, when you try to go to do it... Huh. Weird. Normally I get a glitch. Yeah, there it goes. You normally want to have something in your hotbar, because when you try to pop all the souls from your inventory, you get that fumble animation like I just did. Normally. Alright. I also just noticed I still have those equipped, so let's get rid of those. Now let's see. I don't know what I want to go for. I think what I'm going to probably go for is just using a sword of some sort. Let's see what I have for available for weapons. Broadsword, bastard sword. The guillotine axe is a pretty decent weapon that I've never actually used before. I guess I could use that. Halberd. I could use the halberd. Halberd's pretty good. So you know what? Let's use the halberd. So let's just give ourselves strength and dexterity.
So be it. After all, thou requirest strength. Go forth, touch the demon inside me. Let these ownerless souls become thine own. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
So 14 strength and 12 dex. And then I guess give myself enough of that. And then I want to be able to use buffs later. So I should start giving myself some more intelligence and some more magic. Because you need a specific amount of intelligence and a specific amount of magic to interact with the world's magic vendors.
Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
I forgot to get her dialogue while I was at it, so let's get that. She doesn't really have that much.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me. As for me, I am only here to tend to the flames. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I keep the
Okay, that's what I thought.
I shall await thine return, slayer of demons. I am here for thee, and thee only.
Maiden waifu. Let's talk to Thomas, because I spoke to him already. When I speak to him now, he'll give me a bit of different dialogue in reference to this jade ornament that I have.
That hairpin, that belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. My dearest little baby. May she rest in peace. May I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving up that hairpin? I'd like to have it in memory of my daughter.
I don't know. This is a very nice hairpin. But I guess I'll be nice.
You're a saint. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks. I'm a bit ashamed to say, but I found it one day, discarded on the main road. But it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It will be happier in your hands.
Ring of Herculean strength. Ring that Stockpile Thomas once picked up off the street. So that's useful, because in this game you have not only an equip burden, but you have something called an item burden. And of course, how much items you're allowed to carry. Like, the idea was you're coming back here all the time anyway, so you might as well stop by Thomas and drop off the stuff that you don't need. So that's what we're going to do right now, actually.
I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
Let's see, do you have any other dialogue?
If only something.
No, okay. So let's start by dropping off stones. Drop off these weapons. I'll drop off that, drop off that. Drop off this, this.
Rest assured, your goods are safe and best of luck to you.
Alright.
Best of luck to you.
What's weird is that he says best of luck to you twice in succession, so it's confusing to say the least. Anyway, we gotta switch our gear around so we're not fat rolling. I think this should be good. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Because I like the plated armor, the coat of plate that the female's armor set comes with. Because, like, in this game, you get gender-specific sets of armor. So my character will have sets, like pieces of armor that are unique to females only, and stuff like that. Did I drop everything off at you again? Let's get rid of those, and those. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right, I don't need the Herculean. I don't need the clean ring at the moment. So let's just put on. I don't know what to put on at the moment. Maybe just this ring. It's better than nothing, I suppose. So let's talk to you again.
I can forge weapon.
Anything new?
Thankful.
Nope. Okay, so let's upgrade the halberd once. Because the game gives you enough just to upgrade it at least once from the first level.
Do come back.
Alright, so let's talk to her. I think she should have a new dialogue.
Back in the time that I lived below Boletaria Castle, King Alant left on some strange business, then returned with horrible demons in tow. Soon, the land was ravaged by demons and soul-starved madmen. My spine shudders just to think about it. If I did not have my miracle stone shard, a keepsake of my grandfather, I may not have survived.
Of course, the keepsake she's referring to is a chunk of faithstone, which is an item that you use for upgrading weapons. Or not a chunk, it's like a pure faithstone. And you have to have a certain amount of faith to get it. I want to say it's like 20 to 25, but I can't be too sure. But yeah.
If I did not have...
Okay, so that's it. And as you see here, now two people have showed up. So let's talk to you first.
I have sinned. I swore allegiance to Saint Urbain, but was of no use to him. And now I have run away and abandoned his honorableness. O Lord, punish me, for I have not the strength to punish myself. O Honorable One, I hesitate to imagine your present state. Deep within the darkness, where no light shall ever shine, will you continue to pray, even in such misery?
Couldn't help but notice my halberd was in his chest.
O Honorable One, I deep... Will you
Alright.
Oh, you must be another disciple of God. I too am on a quest to fight the demons in the name of the Lord. May I share God's power with you? Do not be bashful. We are both cut from the same cloth.
This is another vendor that requires that you have 10 faith just to be able to learn miracles from him. So let's see. He has basic miracles. And let's hear what he has to say.
A miracle is a heavenly act, but spells are the acts of demons, the work of soul arts. They have similar effects, and yet one is clearly evil, and the other is clearly good. Magicians, in the end, are mere servants of the demons. A miracle is a heavenly... They have magicians.
Okay, so that's all he has to say.
You wish to train yourself in stoicism. Very well. I pray we meet again.
Okay, so what he's telling us is that there's a clear difference between what is considered heavenly and what's considered evil. And miracles are considered to be good. And magic is clearly evil, according to this guy. And when you don't buy anything from him, he assumes that what you're doing is you're taking a vow of silence. Because the idea with miracles is that you are casting a chant. Or casting an enchantment, which means that you're speaking words to give power to your words and stuff like that. Which is kind of interesting to think that my character's supposed to have enough faith to learn miracles, but I didn't want to learn any miracles because I don't like miracles. They're not particularly useful to me.
Are you here to face the demons? If so, please free Sage Freke the Visionary from the dungeon of Latria. I will help you however I can. I can teach you elementary spells. Sage Freke is a gleaming hope for humankind, but I have not the power to save him alone.
So yeah, this is Freke's apprentice. He teaches you basic spells. You need to have a minimum of 10 intelligence just to speak to him. Otherwise, he'll call you a brute and tell you to go away. So he teaches you basic magic. I don't have enough spell or enough ability to do that. In fact, there are probably some items in the game that require that I get spells, but for all intents and I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but for the reasonings of this playthrough, I'm not going to get some of the items because, frankly, a lot of the items are just tedious to get, and they're not really worth talking about. But if you want to get them, I'll point them out as I go. So let's talk.
Freke is a great sage who systemized the magic of the soul arts to make it possible for human imitation. By observing the state of Boletaria and the demons within it, he's likely to pave the way for greater things. All the more reason that I must meet Freke as soon as possible. All the more reason... I see. So just ensure that you...
Okay, so I like the idea that Freke's apprentice doesn't even tell you anything about the clergymen that are over there. So let's talk to Blue Boy again.
Have you met the last surviving monumental? Those fools revived the old one on a whim. And now they've trapped us here in the nexus in a desperate attempt to undo their mistake. It's all a travesty if you ask me. Still alive? I am impressed. This is something that might interest you. The black-robed maiden of the Nexus looks after the flames. She's a morose type, with eyes occluded by wax. She can control souls like no other. Bring her the souls of men and demons, and she will embolden your flesh and blood with their power. But beware. Do not devolve into a foul beast. What's happened? Have you lost your nerve? No matter. Have a seat. We can sit here forever. At least we will be safe.
Creepy talk. Okay. I guess next I will go to World 2. The tower, touch the Archstone of the Burrow King. And then, let's see. There's something I meant to mention. It's one of those things that people talk about all the time. So this is considered the 6th Archstone. It's not really. It's actually the 4th Archstone. But for story purposes, it's the 6th. It's the last one they mention. But for some reason, it's right here. And it's been destroyed. Now, originally, there is content. There would have been an area that you would have gone to through this. And I'll put a video for it in the description from Wolf2K again in relation to this area. It's a pretty cool area that I think, pun intended. So let's see, back to the Archstone of the Burrow King. City of the Burrowers, keepers of this huge tunnel. Most of the stubborn excavators who support the soldiers of Boletaria had their souls taken. Lacking their own will, they mindlessly continue working. So we're going to an area called the Stonefang Mine. And we're going to go here mainly to get a good upgraded weapon really quickly. And then, of course, I'll show some stuff that's interesting about the area as I go. Kind of weird that the Archstone that we appear from is like sitting in front of what appears to be a memorial of some sort. Can't read it though, it's in some kind of fake language or cuneiform or something. So let's run over here and hit this crystal lizard because we want some upgrade materials and we hope that he doesn't drop Sharpstone. And he drops Hardstone. This is literally the best drop he could possibly give me. So that's good. Come over here, get this soul. So what's interesting about this area is the road just sort of gave out. And it looks like they were in the middle of carting materials back this way. But the road just gave out and there's a cart over there. The road's down there. You can't go down there, obviously. It's a kill zone, but... And you can hear a guy banging on a hammer right here. Also, you can sort of look at the crystal lizard. Let's get a good look at him. He's kind of a... These little guys are a bit different from most of the others ones. He actually looks like a lizard, and his body's covered in gems. So that's kind of cool. So if we stand right here, we can talk to this guy. This guy's useful. He's the filthy man.
Hello there, souls. Souls. I trade fine goods for souls.
It's the same voice actor as a couple of the NPCs in the game, but he's still pretty cool.
Our little town. Well, it's a nice wee place. All those lizard-eyed townsfolk are busy tinkering with stone. And don't bother with old men like myself. Makes life rather easy for me. I can get away with anything. Thank you, Lord, for this golden opportunity. Have you heard about that sparkling lizard? He's not easy to catch, but he's got some fine stones, and I know where his nest is. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't give it away. Thank you.
So he's referring to a nest that's in the second area of this level. And when I get there, I'll actually show it to you. Because it's kind of a difficult thing to deal with. Unless, of course, you come properly prepared. So yeah, like I said, he sells mostly stones for a pretty cheap price. And then basic health items. And then this item is for restoring weapon durability. And then a pickaxe. A local specialty of the Stonefang. Wasn't used as combat, isn't made for combat, but it's got piercing. It's like it has damage similar to rapier. So as I mentioned in my first or second video, there are messages in other worlds, and then this one tells you that the weapon type that these enemies are weak to. They're also weak to magic. So you just run forward here, and you notice that these guys are just chunking rocks. But you want to come this way, over here. Because you want this item right here. This is sticky white stuff. It is said to be the waste product of a magical slug that bathed in fluorescent water. It adds a magical buff to your weapon. And you want this, because it's a really good item. So I'm going to come over here, pull this switch here, and it's going to activate this lift. It's an interesting lift, to say the least, because it's this lift is used for excavating materials out of the side of the rock here. So we run right here, backstab this guy. So this is a fat minister. You're going to see them more often in Boletaria than anywhere else. So let's parry you. I meant to parry him. Let's get the minister, because he always drops grass. Come up here and you get a crushing battle axe. It's just a regular battle axe that has been refined to a specific weapon path. And you'll see that as I get to the blacksmith in this area, he'll be able to upgrade our weapon in a way that Baldwin in the Nexus would not have been able to. Like, you can upgrade it here, and then you can take it to Baldwin in the Nexus, and he can continue to upgrade it, but he doesn't have the ability to forge a weapon in a specific way. Except for maybe a handful. I retract my statement. He can upgrade weapons a specific way, but not all weapons. You want to come to Ed for all weapons. So there's a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. We'll probably need that. Is there anything I need to... So let's see. Get rid of that. Get these set up properly here. There we go. So I want to kill these guys because they have chances of dropping upgrade material. I don't do enough damage to them though, so let's... Really? This game is so cheap with that sometimes. Because it throws like 4 of these guys at you. And I can't parry when you're in the when you keep punching me, dude. Well, that was hairy. Okay, so let's come in here. There's a guy with a bag that we want to kill because he always drops materials, and they're pretty good materials. So let's get those. Alright, if you stand about here, Pot's in the doorway, it's an ambush with about 3 dogs. So you just want to stand next to the door. There we go. And like I said, just keep killing these dudes. See if you can get it 1 or 2 stones off of them. They can usually drop hard, sharp, or 1 stone called sticky stone. If he stands still like that, he usually gets hyper armor. There we go. And then get these items here. These are your first chunks of stone that you'll usually find in the game. Some sharp clearstone, which is good for specific quality build weapons. And those are just mostly... They just modify the stats. The stat scaling for your weapons. And then this guy, for some reason, wants to stand in the door. Making sure I don't get ambushed from behind. Because sometimes there's another guy that will come down here and just... Okay. There's this guy right here who always... I don't know how that hit me. I'm nowhere near you, dude. This game and this stuff sometimes is weird. Okay. So if we go in here... Free pickaxe. So we didn't even have to buy one from the filthy man. So let's just run up here. Now, if we run across this platform here, it'll give out from underneath. So just run across the link and then backstab this guy. You can parry his, those whip attacks that he does. You can't parry his flame attacks, though. So you'll notice here, there's a white phantom. They put this white phantom here after like the initial release because people are having trouble finding the switch. Because you need the switch to open the door up there. But there's a torch right over there. So what they could have done was just move the torch right here and solve the issue completely. But they decided just to put a phantom here. It's really weird. So let's pull that. Alright. Let's kill these dudes here. Because one of them has a bag of goodies. Clearstone. There's another bagman. And it locked onto the wrong dude. Some Hardstone. There's one more guy over there on the other side that has Sharpstone, so break all this. Get these grindstones. Drop down here and get this item. It's just a soul. And then the Sharpstone fellow is right here. I like to use this trough as a way of backstabbing him. Otherwise, the backstabbing in this area is kind of finicky because of when you're doing it on an incline, sometimes it doesn't register that you're trying to backstab. So that's everything. So let's continue through. And looking back on my old footage from the other videos, I'm not entirely sure what it was I was trying to talk about in the other videos. Felt like I was rambling a lot. I don't know, I really need to work on it. And I guess that's pretty much what I'm trying to do with these videos. Trying to get an idea of what I want to do. So I guess most of what I'm going to talk about is the mechanic stuff. So let's just kill this flame salamander here. He always, he's here to introduce you to the enemy. And then you'll find a shard of meltstone. You use meltstone to downgrade your weapons. The upgrade system in this game is really convoluted. Or it's really complex, actually. It's not convoluted. It's just unnecessarily complex. So, there's an item over there. It's it's a shard of dragonstone. You use it for fire weapons. I don't really need it myself, but I guess I can go get it. So let's kill these guys. You don't want to lock on. Locking on is a very bad idea in this area. And the halberd makes short work of these guys. So let's get those. I guess kill them because of this. There we go. If you try to lock on, you'll accidentally lock on to an enemy that you don't want to lock on to and stuff like that. The lock on is usually very situational when you're trying to use it. So over here we got some flame sword dudes. These guys can drop bastard swords if you're very lucky. But I don't really need a bastard sword. And here I'm just baiting them out to attack me. Hardstone. I needed that. Oh. Whoops. I swung a little early. And then I didn't swing at all. And then that weird headbutt of his. He'll like take the sword and put it to his head. And I feel like I'm talking really loud. So I need to be a little bit careful. So if I go down there, you'll get to the shortcut. But right now, I want to clear this area up here first. Because it's faster to just go through here once and then come back through and hit the blacksmith before going to the boss. So there's always an ambush right here. And then you'll come into this room. I meant to parry you, not... There you go. Because there's a large shard right there that I want. Weapon's kind of iffy sometimes with the camera. These guys are known to drop iron knuckles, which is like a fist weapon that you could use. For some reason, I'm getting really loud, so I'm trying to be quiet. Okay. So, to the left of me is a crystal lizard that drops sticky stone, and you need that specifically for a bow. Okay. Got it. So if I break these barrels, everything goes to like 1 FPS. It's one of the issues with the physics engine. Whenever you break a lot of colliding destructible objects in this area, the frame rate just tanks. It just goes into like the single digits for like a second. And it's one of the issues I've had with this game. So anyway, here's a soul, and then if you drop behind these boxes right here, is a steel shield. It's a pretty good shield if you have enough strength. I'm just never going to use it myself. So if you come up here, you notice all these all these flame salamanders. There's a safe way to do this if you're not wanting to get the item, but I guess for this part, I'll get the item. So let's just do this. They're known to do that, like, accordion jump. It's kind of it's really bullshit if you ask me how they do that. But yeah, they're simple enough with the halberd. So let's drop down here. You get 3 dogs. Not too hard to deal with. The camera just makes this unbearable though. With how the dogs like to just dive through the air at you. Alright. Almost done with this area. Some moongrass. I realize this video has gone a lot longer than the other ones, so I'm trying to hurry it up. And I was two-handing for some reason. This, pick up the items. You have a cutscene here to let you know that an area that we couldn't access earlier is now accessible. Alright. I meant to say that there was a platform of items that was back up here that I could have picked up, but I didn't really feel like it. But I think I can go get him now. So let's go get him real quick. The issue is that it's on a platform of no return. So once you break the items, you have to drop down and come back over again. So let's go get him real quick. So just run across. A couple of souls. You get a great club. You can use the great club mostly if you're trying to do a strength build, or you're using it to be upgraded to another weapon. So you just run back up this way. Now we can go see the Ed the blacksmith to upgrade our weapon. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this into a quality weapon. So first let's kill these guys. Because maybe I'll get lucky and they'll drop their weapon, the Maiden hammer. I like the Maiden hammer. It's my favorite pole arm in the game. Nope, no Maiden hammer. But you want to kill the bag dudes. Because the bag dudes will always drop specific amounts of everything. He doesn't know what he's doing. Neither am I. Neither do I. So let's just go with it. Get this soul item over here. There'll be a little bit of grass just over here too. I always need grass because I'm always eating it like crazy. And then we can activate this lift. I like how immersive the shortcuts are in this game. The shortcuts in this game actually make sense in this world. For example, these elevators are used for carrying stock of like materials for mining and the like. I never really felt that was the case in like Dark Souls. A lot of the elevators in those areas don't make any sense to me. So let's drop over here and come out this door real quick to get a soul. Because I really like popping souls. Once you get a good rhythm to it, you don't really have to worry about equipping them to your hotbar. So let's talk to Ed real quick.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith? Show me some coin. If not, head straight for the door. I'm busy. I'm not here to chit-chat. Forging a weapon strengthens it. It alters its character. Those are transmogrified sprites. Their presence blesses the weapon. Those are
Okay, so let's upgrade our weapon. I should be able to get... Alright, so when you get to a +3, you can start... It'll show you there on the side what you can upgrade to. So I'm going to go for quality upgrade. Because with the quality, you get a balanced... You get balanced scaling. And then I'll upgrade the shield, too. So, not bad. I get a +5 shield and a +2 quality build. Just like that.
all done? Then be gone.
Alright, so let's go. Oh, I went the wrong way. No worries. I played this before. I'm a professional. Did I get everything? Yeah, I did. So let's heal twice. So we only got a couple of items left to pick up, and then we can kill the boss. And that will be the end of this video. Because the video, like I said earlier, is actually longer than the other ones. But it makes sense, because I feel like there's so much to explore in these areas that I can usually get about 40 to 50 minutes of out of one area. So that was the Ring of Poison Resist. It's another ring of Gary's. The design of this ring is a skull. That's kind of creepy. There's a large Sharpstone. And then, to make things weird, this area was covered in molten steel or molten rock just a moment ago. And when I poured the water, it just sort of evaporated. And these bodies, which were submerged underneath said material, are now completely intact with items that I can loot. It's really funny to say the least when I think about it. So anyway, here's another example of a breakable environment that makes the frame rate tank. So yeah, some of it is, it's kind of arbitrary how it works. Some of it doesn't, some of it does. And it's usually the items you don't expect. So you come in here, break all these, wait for them to dissipate, because he likes to blow these barrels up. So let's just hit him a bunch. Ooh. There we go. Full moon grass, nice. Pop this, break these over here real quick, and you'll get another Stone of Ephemeral Eye. Heal once. There's a guy who pushes a boulder. Sometimes you'll meet the boulder, sometimes you won't. See, that boulder just sort of fell out of nowhere, so you didn't really have to worry about it hitting you. But sometimes it will land on you. So let's come up here real quick, because there is a sword that I want to get. The Kris Blade. Oh, there it is. Small ceremonial sword. Old runes are expertly chiseled into the blade. Used as an aid for incantations, the wielder's magical ability increases, though he or she will suffer more magic damage. So that's really good for like pure magic builds, because it increases physical contact magic, the damage from it, but you also take more damage, so it's got a trade-off. So now we'll go down to the boss, and we can end the episode there. You'll notice there's a lot of spider web everywhere, and there's also a corpse here with the Chunk of Spiderstone. So let's examine Spiderstone and see what it is. A shard of fabric-like transparent ore, mainly used to enhance bows. And we're going to use it to enhance a bow when we get to the to a specific area. But here is the next boss. It's an interesting boss because you can actually see the boss before it actually loads in. And what you want to do is, if you're doing a melee build, you're going to want to use sticky white stuff, because it just makes this boss all the more useful, or all the more easy to fight. I didn't realize there was a weird sound going on in the background here. It sounds like carts. Anyway, let's apply this. Now, you want the Thief's Ring on too, because when you run into this room without it, the boss immediately sees you and starts shooting projectiles. So let's get ready. But with the Thief's Ring on, the boss takes a moment to recognize that you're here. Dang, man, I'm not getting anything going well here. Wow. This is not going well at all for me. Okay. So generally with a melee, you want to be in his face all the time. Technically, I could have blocked his attacks with my shield, and it would have been fine. But I like to dodge, mostly for him. He usually likes to alternate between throwing fireballs and spiderweb at you. Because if you get hit by the spiderweb, it'll slough you, and it'll make you harder for you to dodge everything. And then he'll hit you with a fireball, and it'll break the spiderweb really quickly. So anyway, let's get this. Hard Demon Soul. You can use that to Besides using souls to get spells in this game, you can use souls for making boss weapons, and you can use his soul for getting a ability called Fire Spray. At least I think that's a Fire Spray. Let's go look. You can use it to get a flame ability, or you can use it to get something called a lava poe.
Are you begging?
So yeah, I think it's Fire Spray that he gives you with that spell.
I see. Just...
Anyway, that should be it. This is a really long video, so hopefully it has some use of somebody. Since it's a melee build, I didn't really exactly go over all strats associated with this boss, because there are multiple ways to kill these bosses. And that's what I like about Demon Souls. There's a lot of strategy variety when it comes to dealing with bosses. But for now, take care, and thanks for watching if you made it this far. And hopefully I'll see you next time on the next video.